think it's everything I really need to survive. Well, I guess we have the skeleton of a shelter right now. We'll see if I can last the night. Just to feel that warmth is so nice. One cut, I think it's gonna slam and probably break. This smells so good and I'm so ready to eat. There's a bunch of thunder and lightning happening. This is not good. Let's hope I don't get hit. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Matt from Matty Fo Outdoors. And in this video, I'm gonna be surviving in the Canadian wilderness in the winter using only dollar store gear. Let's see if I can do it. First thing I need to do is find a good spot for a shelter because, like I said, I'm just using dollar store gear. I don't have any shelter, no tent. I don't have a sleeping pad. The only thing I brought as a luxury item is my sleeping bag because without that, I would probably freeze. Tonight, it could reach up to -12 Celsius, which is very cold. So I better make a shelter quick and a warm one. So the snow is pretty thick. We got dumped on by 2 huge snowstorms back to back. So just trudging through this is a lot of work, but hopefully it's not too far until I find a good spot to camp. So it looks like something was digging up here. I know for a fact that there is a ton of coyotes back here, which I'm not too concerned about. They usually keep their distance, but it's just something to think about. This area does seem really nice though. I think I might set up somewhere close to here. Yeah, I found one spot here. It seems pretty nice, but I'm just gonna see if there's anything, a little better. I'm only out here for one night, and so I wanna find a spot that will be relatively easy to build a shelter. There's lots of deadfall, and that should make things a little bit easier to make a shelter. So just gotta find the right spot. All right, so the spot behind me, I think it's the one. I looked around for a little bit, but I think right here is the perfect spot. There's a few branches coming off the trees, so I can use them to stabilize the shelter. So I think it's time to get started on that shelter. Now I should mention, I am not a bushcrafting expert. This is actually the coldest I've ever camped in. And I'm just, out here having fun. So don't judge me on my shelter building skills. I'm just doing this as a way to, have a good time. So just looking to kind of push myself and see what I can come up with without too much prior knowledge about building shelters. So let's do it. Okay, so I think I should start off by showing you exactly what I brought with me. As I said in the intro, this is a dollar store challenge. So everything I'm using to survive is in this package, and it came from the dollar store, and it had a budget of $50. So I had to stay within that. Okay, let's see what's in the package. As you can see, I do have a lot of string here, which will really come in handy with the shelter building. So put this rope to the side here. That will definitely be key. All right, so we have a pretty flimsy but important item. We have a saw. Another tarp, this one's a little bit bigger. We have some TP for obvious reasons and starting a fire. Also have some sponges, some Purell. That might be handy for starting a fire as well. We got a pot, which is key. Also have this bag, who knows, that might come in handy. We have some Pop-Tarts, some ramen, a knife, this is another great item, a flashlight, I needed one of those, a barbecue lighter, some oatmeal, some Chef Boyardee, a shovel, some soap, and a single utensil, just one fork. And anything that's in this backpack, that's just camera gear. Can't use any of that for survival. My luxury item, this didn't come from the dollar store. This is a -7 degree sleeping bag. It might get down to -12 tonight, so this won't be enough to just keep me warm, so I'm gonna need to build that shelter. I also have a toque, or as you guys in the States or elsewhere call this a beanie, but we call it a toque. Got some winter gloves, and I think I have a pair of working gloves as well. So yeah, not a whole lot, but I think it's everything I really need to survive. So I think I'm gonna move this to the side and start building the shelter. Let's do it. It's good firewood here. So I think I'm gonna make a lean-to, one large beam here, and a bunch of sticks going this way. So that's my plan. We'll see if it works out. I think I'm gonna use this branch here as the main anchor point that I'm gonna attach my ridge pole across, and then I'll have to somehow get it on here. I'll probably use quite a bit of the rope and maybe some other ways to fasten it, but we'll see. It's getting a little chilly, so I think it's time to throw on the toque, the work gloves, and get to work. Not too shabby. So the width of these trees is just a little bit longer than as far as I can reach, so I need to find a nice sturdy pole that's just a little bit longer than that. Let's go find a ridge pole. All right, this one looks pretty good. I'm gonna cut it right about here. Wow, dollar store saw is working pretty well. All right, I have to be honest, I was a little skeptical about the dollar store saw, but it's working great. Forgot to mention, I also brought some water. I could just melt the snow, but I don't know, I figured it'd be easier just to bring a little bit of water. It's easy when it's really cold like this to neglect drinking water, but you'll get dehydrated pretty quick and you won't realize it till it's too late. So I try to sip water basically all day long. All right, let's get this ridge pole up. I didn't think I'd be saying this today, but I am getting hot. Whoa, that was close. Firewood. All right. Now it's a little unlevel, but I think if I tie this up with some rope, it should hold at least for the night, especially when I add some more support beams. So I think that's gonna have to do right there. Yeah, so I wrapped it around the tree and then just up over this branch, and it seems really sturdy. If I have any extra rope at the end, then maybe I'll add some extra, but for right now that should be good. Just behind me you could see I got the ridge pole in, and I attached it to the tree, got some extra support with the extra rope that I had. So hopefully it holds. I think it will. It's pretty sturdy. Now I'm just gonna add all the other poles for the lean-to, and that should be a little bit of work, but it'll be fun. One down, 200 to go. Any of the extra stuff I'm just gonna use for firewood. The more branches I keep adding, the easier it gets because they have something to lean on. So I just gotta keep going. It's getting easier and easier with every branch. So I've been using these spruce limbs here because they're relatively straight, and watch this, just a few cuts, it'll come right off. See, easy as that. Well, I guess we have the skeleton of a shelter right now. It's coming along nicely. This took me, what, 45 minutes or so? Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but somewhere around there. I got a big tarp in there too, so I think what I'm gonna do is cover these sticks with the tarp. Just add some wind protection because the wind is coming this way. So that'll block a lot of the wind there. And I'll add some snow as well because obviously snow is a great insulator. The fire will be on the other side, and that'll keep me nice and warm. All these little twigs will make for a perfect fire starter. Got a whole bundle. I feel like I have a pretty nice base for my shelter right now, so what I'm gonna do is grab the tarp and cover this. And then once that's attached and all good to go, then I'm gonna add some more sticks to it just to stabilize it a little bit more. And I also think I'm gonna get the rope and tie these on, at least a few of them, just to make it more stable as well. So yeah, that's the task right now. I think I'll start with the tying on part. So I don't really have a master plan here. I'm just gonna do my best to secure these sticks. It's actually working quite well. I'm just going around the ridge pole and then around one or two of these poles every time. Even have some leftover rope. Okay. Got the big tarp here. I think it's 4 by 8 or maybe 6 by 8. Okay. That does a decent job of covering up the back. It doesn't cover the whole thing. What I think I'm gonna do is add some snow just at the bottom there. That'll really seal it in. And I'll get this tied up as well. So got some string in my pocket. Crazy, I can actually feel it blocking all the wind from where I'm standing right now. That lasted long. 2 seconds the shovel broke. So I'm just adding a bunch of little sticks here, kind of like you do with concrete, like adding rebar just for support. That way the snow has something to grab onto. The snow is perfect. It's packing snow. It's super heavy, but that's what we need. Making some good progress. Still got to fill in this wall quite a bit. A little less concerned with this side because the wind is coming. Well, it's coming from my back, but a little bit more this way. So I definitely want to get that filled in with a bunch of snow. And I'm also going to try and grab some spruce boughs to lay out on the ground, just to get me off the ground a little bit. I was going to make a platform to sleep on, but I honestly don't know if I have time. I think it's about 4 o'clock and it gets dark at 6. So only have about 2 hours of light left. Still need to get the fire going and build up these walls. So we'll see how far I get. Trying to fill in every nook and cranny here so I can add some snow. If I could go back and redo my purchases for the dollar store, I definitely would have got another tarp and maybe got rid of something else like the knife, because I've just been using the saw to cut everything pretty much. But another tarp here would be perfect. I do have 2 tarps, but I'm using one to sleep on basically, so I can't really use it for the walls. I just need a break from shoveling the snow, so I'm gonna go get some of these spruce boughs. A lot of them are really high up, so gotta find some lower hanging spruce boughs. So here's the deal. I've gathered as many spruce boughs as I could. Like I said, slim pickings out there, but it should make a decent bed. No 5-star hotel, but it'll get the job done. I'm gonna get a fire going soon, and we'll see if I can last the night. So what I think I'm gonna do now is just get a little fire going, just a little smoldering fire, just to, you know, have it for when it gets really dark. I can see the sun is setting in front of me there, so it won't be long, and I'd rather get the fire going in the light instead of the dark. It just makes things easier. To get this fire going, One of the items I chose from the dollar store was a lighter. I'm really hoping it works. I'm sure it will. Let's give it a go. Be a fire. All right. I'm just gonna make a little spot for the fire to sit on. I've done this method in the past. It just helps to get the fire going when you're building it on snow. Thought of something. This is the first camping trip I've done of the year. It's just February, but up in Canada it gets really cold. Just to feel that warmth is so nice. Well, the fire's going really well, and I'm actually really hot right now. It seems to be coming into the shelter quite well, so. Right behind me there's a dead branch. It's huge, but if I cut this down, one cut, I think it's gonna slam and probably break into a couple pieces. It'll be great for firewood. I think I'm gonna put the effort in and cut this down. Okay, I hear it cracking, it's gonna go. Timber. Awesome. About half an hour of firewood right there. Whew. Well, the sun's down, I'm just sitting by the fire. Getting pretty hungry, so I think I might cook up some dinner. Not gonna lie, after a hard day of working on this shelter and getting firewood, getting the fire going, all that, this smells so good and I'm so ready to eat. I don't know if you could hear that. There's a bunch of thunder and lightning happening. This is not good. This wasn't in the forecast. Let's hope I don't get hit. It's gonna be a crazy storm, I think. Well, good morning. It's a lot colder today, and the wind has completely changed directions. As you can see from the fire, it's coming right towards me now, but at least it's pushing all the heat towards me as well. The portion size isn't crazy or anything, but a nice warm breakfast, I'll take it. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on this video. I hope you enjoyed this dollar store survival in the freezing Canadian wilderness. If you could subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys. I'm out of here.